Coming up on TekThing, Logitech's POP, it's a switch for your smart home. The world's heaviest laptop and more picks from IFA, a cheaper NVMe SSD from Intel, and yes, Virginia, there is a new iPhone. It's all coming up on TekThing. If you want to keep TekThing coming, go check out patreon.com/TekThing. We're brought to you by viewers just like you. Thank you so much. I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Shannon Morse.
And welcome to TekThing,
where we have something useful at every single show.
That is our goal, people, and hopefully we're delivering for you.
I think so.
There may have been an announcement yesterday.
I think there was.
Wait, was it Sony? Sony with PlayStation, Apple with, you know what? Well, we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yay!
We're gonna do something short and ridiculous right now.
Oh gosh.
Actually, short and awesome. What is the number one problem when you start doing home automation?
Proprietarianness.
That's not what I was thinking, but that is an excellent and kind of depressing answer. I'm setting up these lamps for a reason that will make a lot more sense in a minute. When somebody comes to your house,
yeah,
they can't operate any of your stuff.
Oh, that's so true.
Or when you get into your house and it's the end of the day and you're like, I want to fire up my Sonos and I want to turn the lights on and I want my blinds to go down or I want my blinds to go up. You end up like running 17 different applications on your phone. So that's why I have this, the Logitech POP Home Switch.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. A simple switch to control your smart home devices, which basically means whether it's lamps or blinds or home theater gear or whatever you have, it almost always requires an app or a phone or a tablet or a custom control system if you have all the money. So the POP is really simple. You press it once, or you press it twice, or you hold it down. You know, if you pick up the right switch,
that's it.
You press it once, you press it twice. Did I kill it? You know, we were playing with the lights before.
Oh, there it goes.
Well, you know, it's really funny. These are actually purple.
That was cool. They are purple. You can tell.
And when I hit it like for a long pause, it's really funny, right? You hit it, you have three modes in this. You have click once.
Okay.
You have click twice. And you have
yeah, you can tell it's purple.
Hold. So you have dot, 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 or dash, right?
That's cool.
And it runs one of three recipes. Like turn on the lights in the ceiling fan, or turn on the Sonos or my favorite playlist, or in this case, turn on a couple of lamps, or turn them off, or turn them purple. I can't believe they don't look purple.
They look purple on the editing machine.
Because I'm looking at the monitor here and they're not purple.
So how much does this cost?
It's $99.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
It's not bad at all, right? You get two POP switches and a bridge. The bridge is basically a little thing that plugs into a wall socket, bridges it to Wi-Fi. Additional switches will run you $40. You just plug the bridge into an outlet somewhere in the middle of your house. You launch the POP app on your iOS or Android device. You connect to it. You give it your Wi-Fi password. You create a Logi ID if you don't have one for your Harmony remote. And then you press the switch once to connect it, and you can search for compatible devices and create a recipe.
That's really cool. I like it.
I actually I was kind of like half excited and half like right until I get it's so it can be a switch or a trigger.
Okay.
And a switch turns things on or off, and a trigger is either on or off.
Okay.
And if you can drag and drop, you can program this thing.
Oh, nice.
You can't do it on your computer. You got to do it on an iPhone or an Android device or
it's like a GeoCities website in the 90s. Yay.
Except it works, and you won't be embarrassed by what you did. You know,
hey, my websites were amazing, okay?
I'm sure they were distinct examples of style and taste, and there wasn't any blinking tags anywhere.
There might have been. So obviously you need to have it on for it to work.
Yeah, so yeah, you have to have power to the device. You know, but it's basically, you know, I set up this demo because I didn't want to tear apart like the Sonos and all the other stuff in my house and have difficulties with my marriage as a result. But it's really crazy, right? This is really simple. Like, oh, okay, the light goes on. Okay, the light goes purple.
Right.
Okay, the light goes, you know, into nice white reading mode. This is not an exciting demo, but you could click once and have it make your blinds go down, turn your lights on or off, hit your Sonos play to go to my favorite playlist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll control smart lights from Philips, Hue, Insteon, LifeX, and Lutron, connected music from Sonos.
Sonos, yay.
It supports Smart Things, Belkin Wemo, Lutron.
Wemo too?
If this, then that.
Awesome.
So Logitech expects 5 years of battery life. There's a pair of batteries inside. Basically,
replaceable?
Very replaceable, actually. Just crack it open and pop in 2 new batteries. And it can control activities from the Harmony Hub remotes. So if you're the kind of person that gets home and like you want to click twice and have the home theater go to Blu-ray or Netflix or whatever you want to do, boom.
Cool.
Yeah. So some of you out there right now are going, yes. Yes, and the rest of you are probably, huh. And some of you with purple hair are going, I can totally do that with Amazon Alexa. The options are good. I gotta say, Logitech POP, dead simple, stupid easy to set up. I love the interface. Creating recipes is as easy as it can get. Not the cheapest thing we've seen at $99, and I've done no security analysis, but I like it a lot. If you don't want to basically pull out your phone, log in, go to the menus to set up the things, click once, the lights come on. Click twice, the Sonos comes on. Click 3 times, the theater comes up. Or maybe your bedroom starts getting ready, like turning on the AC and turning on the ceiling fan and turning on the lights. And I like it. Really, really cool stuff. Logitech available now at $99 for the starter kit, Amazon or Logitech.com. Got a question? Curious to see us review something on TekThing? Got a tip or an idea you want to share with the crew? Fire them out to ask at TekThing.com, please. Or you can tweet at TekThing, at Snubs, or at Patrick Norton. And hey, if you want to be part of the crew that makes the show possible, please contribute to the show at Patreon.com/TekThing. Just $1 will make a difference, and you'll get access to our patron-only build videos and more. Thank you for your patronage. No matter how you participate, you make the show possible.
3 questions answered, 3 reviews, 3 picks, all in 3 minutes. I feel like this one might go a little long. This week's Rapid Fire Roundup is our favorite picks from IFA 2016, which is totally going to sound like a mini CES, which it kind of is. It's the annual German trade show.
It's like a consumer electronics trade show.
Exactly, yeah. It looks very similar, a little bit smaller, but there's lots of announcements, so we wanted to get right into them.
Oh my goodness. I got hands-on with this in a secret demo a few months ago. This is Lenovo's new YogaBook 2-in-1. Weighs 1.5 pounds. It's got a 10.1-inch 1920 by 1200 IPS touchscreen on one side, and the other side is like a giant touchpad. It's capacitive touch. And uses EMR pen technology. And what you see right here isn't actually a keyboard, it's their Halo Keybooard. Now this is really crazy, right? It glows.
It's so cool.
And it's like a touch, it's a keyboard. And there's some haptic feedback, but it's glass. It's flat glass. And I expected to be horrified when I went hands-on with it. But it's actually, if you're a touch typist, it's pretty friendly. You're not going to do like 140 words per minute on it.
Yeah,
but I was probably hitting 50 plus words per minute. I think though artists might really go totally nuts for this. CreatePad and the Real Pen. So in this case, right, they're doing OCR with the pen. Like there's a piece of paper laid over it, but we're talking about 2,048 levels of pressure for the pen. So if you want to get your art on, this could be incredible. Android version, Windows version, and we're starting to hear a Chrome OS version is going to be showing up. Not the most powerful device, but we did mention it's a pound and a half. Intel Chrome X5 Z8550 with 4 cores, 4 gigs of RAM, and a 64 gigabytes of storage.
Oh, that sounds so pretty.
It's got that beautiful yoga hinge. It feels so nice in the hand.
It's so artisty.
I looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's a toy. And I started typing. I'm like, oh, it's a Windows machine. Yeah. And they've done a whole bunch of other stuff that we won't talk about until we can get more hands-on.
Oh, man. I'm so excited to get hands-on with that one. I am also excited to get hands-on with the new Razer Blade Stealth, which comes with a Kaby Lake Intel processor. Hello. I'm super excited to start seeing those like actually on the market because, that's how I get anytime there's a new CPU.
In the next week or two.
Yes.
It's basically the same package. It's under 3 pounds. Did they update it in terms of memory?
Yes, they did. So the old one had 8 gigs of RAM. This one comes with 16, which is a well-needed upgrade. And then it also comes with a 12.5 4K or a QHD high-resolution touch display. Obviously, there's a price difference there. A bigger battery, too. The old one had a 45 watt battery. This one has 53.6, so that's a definite increase. And it also gets up to 1 terabyte of PCIe solid state memory too, which is super, super cool.
They're claiming about a 15% boost. 15%, in battery life.
Yeah, and you still get the rainbow keyboard, of course, so you get all the colors if you want to. And then it has the Intel HD graphics in 620.
Basically the onboard graphics.
The onboard graphics. But if you do want to go super pricey and get the Razer Core for an external graphics card that you can plug this into with Thunderbolt 3, you can buy the Lunchbox, which is about $500 or so. So that's kind of pricey, and that does not come with a GPU. You'd have to buy that separately.
$500 plus a GPU to get the desktop graphics.
Yeah. So the new Razer Blade Stealth, it starts at $999 for 8 gigs of RAM, a little bit less space than the 1 terabyte, and it's QHD with the screen, and that increases all the way up to $2,000 for the top of the line model. All of them come with i7 CPUs now, and you can pre-order them right now, and they ship in 2 weeks. I want one, but I'll probably just have to review it because it's pretty pricey for the one that I would want.
Well, I mean, the entry level one's not bad at $1,000.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's middle grade, 500 gig SSD.
Well, that's just so frustrating,
and that would have 16
right?
gigs.
Their cheap one is $1,000, but it only comes with a 128 gigabyte SSD.
Yeah.
You can get more, less stylish, no rainbow keyboard for less money. And DJI was there, but they didn't bring drones.
Yeah, so they...
Or you didn't pick a drone.
I didn't pick a drone because I'm not going to buy a $2,000 drone. But what I would buy is something that's $300. So the newly announced DJI Osmo Mobile is my second pick. As a YouTuber and as a podcaster and things like that, I have been in the market for a way to make my videos on my smartphone less shaky. Because if I just hold them with my hand, they're going to shake. That's just because, hey, humans, people. So I got to play with the original Osmo gear last year, the original Osmo and Osmo Plus, both from DJI, and both of those cost over $500 and have a camera built in. But this new one, it's less expensive. It's $300 and it doesn't have a camera built in. It's basically just a really smart selfie stick. It works as a gimbal for your smartphone. So DJI says that it'll fit most, if not all, smartphones, and they have to support Bluetooth 4.0 for this to work. If you install the application on your smartphone, you can do face tracking, you can do panoramic pictures, very steady panoramas, long exposures, you can edit videos in the app, and you can stream to YouTube Live in the app as well. And it also has a removable battery instead of just one that stays in it and you have to charge it every time. 4.5 hours of use, and then it's available right now. So
good to know. This
is one of those things where I'm like, I kind of need that. Kind of.
You think you need that?
I kind of need it. Well, I could totally play it off like, this is for work.
What I want to know is if it actually works as well as they claim it does.
Me too. If it's like the older Osmos, the ones that are 500 plus, then I would say yes, because those ones are great.
Well, they're designed to be strapped underneath a high-moving drone instead of a fast-moving snubs.
What's your pick?
Project Ridiculous. Acer's Predator 21X curved screen gaming notebook. You can't really appreciate how big this is from this picture, right? But this is a 21-inch curved screen. And this is a full-size keyboard and a number pad that flips over to become a touchpad. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you will find out that it has a pair of a GTX 1080 GPUs inside of it.
Really?
Really.
What?
It's out of control.
Let's clarify this. 21 inches.
Yeah. So
21-inch
it's approximately, the screen's approximately this big. It's curved. The keyboard has Cherry MX red switches. The number pad turns over to become a touchpad. Well, you'll notice if you take a look at it, right? There's no touchpad down here. So the touchpad is actually underneath that. It weighs about 17 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Asus has been like, we just wanted to see how amazing a thing we could make.
If LAN parties are still a thing, might be worth it.
Well, they obviously think it's bespoke. They're going to be built to order. So they're not going to be sending these out in the channel. No ship date, no price, but they said they will start making them to order in early 2017.
And also there was so much more announced at IFA that we didn't get around to. There's new Fitbits, a new smartwatch, a lot of new smartwatches actually, new phones from HTC, Huawei, and Sony, a 23 megapixel camera on a phone, which sounds super cool. I'm actually kind of excited about that one. Yeah. We will cover those more as products start to ship, and if we can get some in for review. Super excited to get hands-on with them. Let me know what your guys' picks are too. Of course, you can always email us. What's our email?
ask@tekthing.com.
Can we cover yesterday's Apple event in 2 minutes? Probably not.
But we're going to try.
We're going to try. First off, I am super excited about Super Mario Run. It's Nintendo fans that got the first Mario game on a phone. Super Mario Run is for iOS. It's a Mario game that you can play with one hand. And yes, this is awesome for people like me. An Android version is going to be coming very soon. And while I'm thinking Nintendo, Pokemon Go will soon be on the Apple Watch. That's cool too.
You're going to buy it? Oh, yeah.
I am not going to buy an Apple Watch for Pokemon Go because that's a little insane, but that's very cool that they are porting it over to the Apple Watch. I'll give them props for that.
So much going on with the Apple Watch Series 2. Actually, not that much going on. Apple's really proud that it's water resistance 50 meters, which is a really weird way of saying it's up to the horology ISO standard 22810:210.
Wow.
2010. Basically, swimming in a pool or an ocean is okay, but, quote, scuba diving, water skiing, or other activities involving high-velocity water or submersion below shallow depth are verboten.
And an even bigger deal is the new dual-core processor that promises to be up to 50% faster with built-in GPS, so you don't need to bring your iPhone with you if you want to go like track running or cycling. It collects that workout data too while you're doing all sorts of different things. And it has an 1000 nits bright display. That's really, really freaking bright.
Yeah,
it's 2 times brighter than the first Apple Watch, which is nuts.
1000 nits would be like something you find on the deck of a commercial fishing boat.
That's
if
crazy.
It was really modern. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And apparently it can count your laps and strokes too while
And
you're doing your 50-meter water resistance.
That's so cool. It's going to be on sale very soon, September 16th, and it'll be $369.
And then the original Apple Watch now becomes the Series 1. It gets a dual-core processor.
200 something?
$269.
Okay, not bad.
iPhone, yes, the headphone jack is gone. We'll get to that. The case is now IP67 spec. That means dust-proof and resistance against water ingress to a maximum of 1 meter of water for up to 30 minutes.
Cool.
In case you're nitpicking, Samsung met this spec back on the S5.
Yes, they did.
A couple years ago.
The home button is now solid-state force sensitive, and it's enabled by a new TekThing engine for vibration-y feedback. Ooh, delicious.
I'm actually kind of curious to see what they do with that.
I am too.
You know, I mean, we were talking earlier about the keyboard on the Lenovo 2-in-1. Well, that's, you know, doing haptic feedback.
Is it a new thing?
is
I don't know. It might be a
Apple's
new thing for people to
name
do.
for tapping haptic.
Also, I was excited to hear about the iPhone camera. I'm a camera geek, so this kind of stuff is very interesting to me. It has a 12 megapixel camera, which includes optical image stabilization, of course, and there is a wider f1.8 aperture, so that f-stop is 1.8, a 6-element lens, and a 12 megapixel sensor. Again, that Apple claims is going to be 60% faster or 30% more energy efficient than the 6S, which is great. The iPhone 7 Plus, on the other hand, has 2, not just one 12 megapixel camera, but 2. Yes, there are 2 of them on there. One has the standard wide-angle 28mm lens, and the other one is, as they say, 56mm telephoto lens. However, as a kind of DSLR person, I don't think of 50mm anything as telephoto, more like 250mm as telephoto, but whatever.
Basically, like
I get it.
They're claiming a 2x optical zoom, which is kind of, as you look at the demo picture, is a big difference if compared to that wide angle.
That's cool.
10x digital zoom.
10 times is really far.
Yeah, that's digital means they're smurshing pixels.
Yes.
So,
I'm curious how it's going to look.
We'll see. Apple was really excited about the image signal processor they designed for the iPhone 7, and we'll see what that can do with digital zoom picture quality-wise. I'm really curious to see if the new quad LED True Tone flash can really eliminate the flickering in lights, like, you know, lights in videos. It's also supposed to be 50% brighter than the flash in the 6S, which was already pretty bright.
And also for my fellow camera nerds, the bokeh is coming. If you guys are fans of depth of field, bokeh is going to be a new thing included in the 7 Plus. It's getting the slick new depth of field effect.
Depth of field effect.
Very pretty photos that they showed during the talk, so I don't know.
And lots of quotes from super geeky photography professionals talking about how this was a truly professional grade camera that would change everything. Okay. Anyhow, audio. Stereo speakers on the bottom and top, i.e. to the left and right when you're in portrait mode. Apple says they're going to be twice as loud as the speakers in the 6S. And of course, earpods, now over Lightning. Apple had the courage. The courage.
That's literally what they said.
Literally, yeah.
The courage.
The mocking and the memeing exploded on all social platforms. The courage to eliminate the 100-year-old audio jack. Though there will be Lightning earbuds, along with the Lightning earbuds, there's going to be a Lightning headphone jack dongle in the box, which leaves a wonderful third-party opportunity to do something that will allow you to use your regular old headphones and charge the phone at the same time, since you can't do that with the dongle that came in the box.
I sure hope somebody comes out with a dual one where you can listen and charge your phone at the same time.
Yes.
That would be nice.
That's
Which
what I was
brings
just saying.
which brings us to the Apple EarPods, aka the super fancy wireless earbuds. These are super fancy in that they have a custom chip, which is the new W1, which uses IR sensors to detect when they're in your ear. There's voice accelerometers. They work with beamforming mics to minimize outside noise whenever you're talking to people or if you're traveling, and motion accelerometers to that you can tap on them to, I guess, do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, I mean, so you can, it's just...
Can't you, like, talk to Siri, I believe, is one of the things that they mentioned?
Well, it's
kind of cool.
I don't want to get into Siri right now. I love the fact that they're replacing buttons with motion accelerometers simply because buttons die.
Yeah.
5 hours on a single charge. I'm a little meh about that. I'd like more battery life out of them.
Yes.
They come with a little compact charging case that delivers 24 hours of power. No word on how long it takes for the case to recharge the AirPods.
True.
AirPods are going to require Apple devices running iOS 10, Watch OS 3, or Mac OS, Sierra. And Apple says, of course, they deliver incredible sound.
Of course they do.
We don't know. It's interesting. So it doesn't seem to be a proprietary, but I'm sure they're only going to work with Apple products.
Yeah.
But that's one of the questions. Are they Bluetooth? Are they Wi-Fi? I would assume they're Bluetooth.
Yeah, they didn't really say.
Who knows? They were really big on the idea that you open the case next to your phone.
And they like immediately connect to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they automatically can talk to switch between your watch and your phone.
I don't know. We're going to see. Well, hopefully that means that they sound better than the AirPods that he obviously gives away with like every single time that he buys an iPhone.
Yep.
That happens. You want my earbuds? I'm like,
you want these?
No, I don't.
Never been used. Jason will take them. Oh my goodness. That W1 chip is also going to show up in new gear from Beats.
Cool. And the Apple's new A10 Fusion processor, which will not be showing up in Beats. The A10 has 4 cores. 2 of those are 40% faster than the A9 and the 6S, and they're 2 times faster than the A8 and the iPhone 6, while 2 high-efficiency cores use 1/5 of the battery life, which is going to be excellent for people who need it to last a lot longer.
Yeah. Well, it's not as a lot. It's like 1 hour for the Plus, 2 hours for the standard version over the 6S or the 6S Plus.
Yeah, that's not a lot.
Yeah, they were like the most battery life ever, and an hour longer under heavy use is a long time. The A10 brings a bump in graphics performance. Yeah, I just thought the battery life numbers were just fantastically vague.
They were.
1 hour more than the 6S Plus. Prices are the same as the 6S, 6S Plus, $649, $769, but the storage is now doubled. Yes, 32 gigabytes, 120 gigabytes, or 256 gigabytes.
And for everybody who doesn't necessarily want silver or black, there's also 3 other ones that you can choose from. There's gold, rose gold, and jet black.
Right.
Because apparently black and jet black are 2 different things.
One's highly polished and sophisticated.
Pre-orders begin September 9th. The phones will start shipping September 16th.
Fast.
And also I did want to mention the AirPods. Those are sold separately. Those are going to ship in late October, and they are going to cost $159. It's a little bit pricey, but if you want wireless earbuds, they might be the ones for you.
Well, I'll be curious to hear. I will be curious to hear
too.
them. I will be curious to see if they stay inside of my ears, which is been a problem. Something that also happened yesterday.
Yay!
Sony,
Yes.
PlayStation, because this is like the biggest crazy week
Yay!
for us since CES in terms of product news.
My video gamer heart was super excited to hear the news about the upcoming PS4 consoles. We knew that there will be 2 based on rumors. First off, the new PS4 Slim release. That one's going to be $299. It's little. It's a baby. And that'll be September 15th. It's a slimmer design, and mostly everything else is the same other than that. So nothing too exciting there, but if you don't have a PS4 yet, it's $300. The second one, the bigger honkin' one over here, is called the PlayStation 4 Pro. So this one is cool. Yeah, it's going to be 4K.
It's professional.
I know, right? It's going to be 4K and HDR. Apparently, they doubled the power of the GPU. They boosted the CPU clock rate, interoperability, so that your current games are going to work with PS4 games like the previous games.
Right.
Those will work with the Pro.
Good.
And it comes with double the hard disk drive space, so 1 terabyte. Yeah, 1 terabyte of space. I'm super excited about that.
And a new Netflix app.
And new Netflix app. Yeah, they're super excited about this. The new Netflix app that comes on the PS4 Pro will have 4K content, apparently over 600 hours of content available on there.
It's not just Marco Polo anymore, which is a fun show. I'm only 3 episodes into it. But
they showed a lot of game footage during the talk. That was most of it. Lots of new games coming out. Very excited about those too. We won't talk about those on the show.
How much?
It's going to be $399.
Okay.
Yeah, not a bad price for an increase to 4K.
I mean, given that a
HDR.
UHD Blu-ray player is $400.
Exactly.
Or was a couple, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, they didn't mention Blu-ray, but I assume that that comes with this one too, since it's on the previous ones. And it'll be out November 10th, so just in time for the holidays.
Get your elbows ready in your Amazon ordering. Oh, a firmware update is going to bring HDR support to all PlayStation 4 consoles.
So if you don't necessarily need 4K, but you want HDR, that's totally possible with a new firmware update coming very soon. They didn't specify a date, though.
Well, if you don't have 4K, you probably don't have HDR, but that's a whole conversation. We'll get into that later. You ready to buy a 4K TV yet?
You know, the more I see Robert Heron with his 4K TVs, the more I want to get one. But man, I'm just waiting for those prices to drop. But there's been some good drops lately.
We'll talk about that in a second.
We got an email from Parmjeet who writes, "Hi Patrick and Shannon, I do my gaming on a 1080p monitor via Xbox One and will be buying Project Scorpio Xbox One for 4K gaming. Is there a 4K monitor that supports HDR? Thanks, love the show," from Parmjeet. Thank you, Parmjeet, and I love your name.
It's a good name. It's fun to say.
It is fun to say.
We were saying it before.
So what are your suggestions?
Sadly, while the latest rounds of GPUs and Intel's new Kaby Lake CPU graphics are ready for HDR, we are not seeing HDR desktop monitors yet. There are some very nice sub-$500 4K desktop monitors out there right now, and yes, they have 60 hertz refresh rates.
Ooh.
For example, the Samsung UN43KU 7000 43-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart LED TV.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, actually, that's like $650. I don't know why I said like $500. And there's another really nice one that is also reasonably priced for a 4K TV. LG Electronics 43UH 6500, another 4K Ultra HD Smart LED TV.
That's pretty.
It's a nice television. It's $547. It's 4K. It's supposed to be HDR. Here's the thing, though. A 43-inch screen is going to be
big.
Huge on your desk. It won't be, because the resolution is so high, it won't be, you won't have like hockey player face because you're reading a sentence on a web page, unless you make the web page as wide as it. Because with 4K, you can run like 6 apps simultaneously pretty comfortably.
I would probably stick with, if I'm using something on a desk, I would probably stick with like 30, 32-inch range.
Around 32, things start to get out of control, unless you have a particularly huge desk.
Yes.
I would wait until next year, see if there are any desktop monitors in the 30, 32-inch range with HDR, or see if there's any smaller, UH HDR TV, see if those prices come down. That said, you're a console gamer, the Xbox One S is good to go with 4K HDR for UHD Blu-ray, 4K HDR streaming with Netflix already. The only problem is it does only upscale games to 4K, they're 1080p games, so none of what I will call, what Robert Heron would call delicious HDR detail-y goodness in the dark and bright areas of the screen, which is what's going to come on the new HDR-ready Sony and the next generation that's coming next year, Xbox One.
So much gaming console goodness.
Yeah, my wife still won't let one in the house.
My wife will.
Well.
Is he my wife if he cooks for me? Because he does.
I don't know.
Don't tell him I said that.
You've got a unicorn. He plays Magic. He taught you how to play Magic the Gathering.
He did,
He may be a bigger geek than you are.
He might be.
He might be.
I don't know about that.
It's a thin line.
Well, that about wraps up this episode of TekThing. But remember, once in a while, put down your phone, step away from the screen, close the laptop, and do something analog. Like Jason's pick for this week. He wrote us and said, "My son Alex is in 6th grade and started a new computer-based school called The Realm, which teaches coding, robotics, engineering, etc. I love the early start they are giving these kids now." Yeah, me too. I'm a little jealous. A 1979 Seeburg disco jukebox was just sitting at the school not working, and I have taken on the job of bringing it back to life. Here are a few picks of the work so far. I am starting with the mechanical first, then I will tackle the electronics. This is going to be an analog project that will take a while to complete. Love the show. Y'all have a great day. From Jason.
That's so awesome.
So cool. I love it.
There was a
So cool.
jukebox for sale for like a 60s one with the little, psychedelic projector embedded in it.
Ooh.
If I wanted to pick it up so badly, and I'm like, I have no place to put it.
Yeah, that's the thing, man.
Darren has a no junk storage in the warehouse policy. So
Yes, he does.
Oh my goodness. I'm Patrick Norton.
I'm Shannon Morse.
We'll see you next week on TekThing.
All right, we're recording. Oh my god.
I started it.
I did. Oh my god, that smelled like food. Ew.
I just had a giant
Gross.
pile of freaking.
It smells like Chinese food or something. What is that? Is it Chinese?
Kung Pao chicken.
That's so gross.
No. Gross is if I burp and blow it at you.
Yeah, that's true. It just kind of fills the room.
Well, let me tell you something. There's been some Frappuccino stinkage in here once in a while.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You're lucky I don't eat garlic. Oh my gosh, it's horrible when I burp.
You've never had a cat take down a bookshelf?
No. I have had an earthquake take down a bookshelf.
Ooh.
That's about it.
Reminds me. More earthquake straps.
Yes.
We need earthquake straps in the warehouse.
Yes, we do.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
You are a reinforced foundation that makes TekThing possible.
どうもありがとうございました。Exactly. Hi.